You lost your job. Good. I know that's not what you expected to hear. You probably clicked this video with a knot in your stomach, a question ringing in your head. What now? Maybe you were just laid off after 10 years at a company that barely said thank you. Maybe you got an email or worse. Silence, and now you're sitting in your kitchen, your living room, maybe even your car, staring at your phone, trying to figure out what the hell just happened. Let me be the first to tell you, this is not the end, it's a beginning. And not in some fluffy think positive kind of way. I'm serious, you lost your job. Good, because now finally, you've been ripped out of the comfort zone that was keeping you small. The truth is, most of us don't change when we're comfortable. We settle, we tolerate. We show up to meetings we hate. We answer to bosses who don't respect us. We collect a paycheck, and we trade one more day of our life for just enough to survive. That's not living, that's existing. And sometimes it takes a storm, a loss, a failure, a layoff to shake us awake. You're awake now, that pit in your stomach. That's energy, that's potential. That's life pulling you forward and asking, who are you really when everything safe is stripped away? You see, jobs come with labels, titles, boundaries. You're a manager, you're an assistant, you're a tech support. But when the job disappears, so does the label, and that's terrifying. If you've spent years identifying as your position, but here's the liberating truth. You are not your job title. You never were. You are the skills, the grit, the patience, the sleepless nights, the leadership, the resourcefulness, the bounce-back power that got buried under routine and expectation. You are more than your LinkedIn headline. So now that the nameplate is gone, it's time to ask, who do you actually want to become? Because this is your moment. Most people spend their entire lives waiting for a sign to start over. You just got yours, you're free. And freedom feels scary when you're used to a paycheck. I get that. But you've been renting security from someone else. Now is the time to build your own. No more waiting for commission. No more needing approval. No more hiding behind the lie that you're lucky to even have a job. You are capable of so much more than survival. You are capable of reinvention, of building, of dreaming again, and dreaming big. You're not too old, it's not too late. That voice in your head that says, I should be farther by now, it's wrong, you're right where you're supposed to be. You were pushed off the edge so you'd remember. You have wings, and yes, there will be fear, there will be days when you question everything, but fear is not the enemy. Stagnation is fear, is just the cost of transformation. It means you're on the edge of something real, something alive, so don't numb it. Don't run from it, channel it. Use it, let it fuel you. Because you have a decision to make right now. Are you going to let this loss define you, or are you going to define what comes next? There are people who lost their jobs and lost themselves, but there are also people who lost their jobs and found their purpose. Which one will you be? That's not a rhetorical question. You have to choose, you have to get uncomfortable. You have to get honest. What did that whole job steal from you? Your time, your creativity, your joy, your confidence. Then don't go back, not to that. Not to less than you deserve. Start building, start learning. Start asking questions that light you up. What do I want to do? What do I want to create? What would I pursue if I wasn't afraid? Because guess what? You don't have a job to lose anymore. The worst already happened and you survived. So why not take the risk that leads to your best life? Why not bet on yourself for once? No more playing small, no more shrinking to fit into places that were never meant for you. The world doesn't need another perfectly polished resume. The world needs people who are real, who've been through something, who got knocked down and got back up. That's you, so stand up. Shake off the dust and start again. Not from scratch, but from experience. Everything you've learned, every late night, every mistake, every project, every boss, every hard conversation, it all stays with you. That's your capital. Now, that's your power. You've got something to say, something to give, something to build. So do it, don't wait. And if no one else told you today, I believe in you, not because of your job, but because of your fight. Because of your story, because you're still here. Listening, breathing. Hungry for more, you lost your job. Good, now go find your freedom. You lost your job, good. Because now you finally get to do the one thing you've put off for years. Face yourself when you're in the grind. Day in, day out. You don't have time to pause. You don't have time to reflect. You don't have time to ask hard questions. You just move, you chase the next task. The next project, the next paycheck. You survive, but now you're standing in silence. And silence is where truth shows up. Not the filtered, polite truth you give in interviews. The real truth. The what the hell do I actually want to do with my life? Truth, and maybe that scares you. Maybe you don't have the answer. That's okay, in fact. That's honest, you don't need the full plan right now. You just need the courage to admit that you want more. Not just more money, more meaning. More purpose, more pride when you look in the mirror. And that doesn't come from staying in the system. That just discarded you like a broken part. It comes from building your own system, your own rules, and that starts with mindset. Hear me clearly. Mindset is not some fluffy motivational nonsense. It's your operating system, and right now, yours might be running outdated programming. You've been conditioned to believe that stability equals a job, that validation comes from a boss, that success comes from promotions, that someone out there has to give you the life you want. But guess what? That someone is you. And if you're over 30, over 40, over 50, now is the time to unlearn that old software. Because you've already got evidence. Think about the last time you overcame something. A divorce, a relocation, a health scare, a personal crisis. And yet you're still standing. That proves you can rebuild. That proves resilience lives in your bones. So let's talk about what to do next. First, stop mourning a job that didn't love you back. Grieve, yes. You're a human, let it hurt. But don't unpack and live there. Mourn, then move second. Audit your skills, not just the ones on your resume. The real ones you led teams. That's leadership, you solved chaos daily. That's adaptability. You dealt with difficult people and kept your cool. That's emotional intelligence. These are not soft skills, they are power skills. Package them, own them. Then explore, start messy. What lights you up? What would you try if failure wasn't fatal? Start a side hustle, start a blog. Start an LLC, start coaching. Start making content. Start volunteering in a field that excites you. Start anything. Motion beats paralysis. Action births clarity. The people who win aren't always the smartest. They're the ones who refuse to stay still. Fourth, shift your tribe. If you're surrounded by people who are also stuck, also bitter, also afraid, change rooms, find those who are building, reinventing, learning. You need expansion energy right now, not contraction. Watch who you listen to. Voices shape choices, choose wisely. Fifth, upgrade your standards. Stop settling for the bare minimum. Stop tolerating disrespect just to keep a seat at a table that doesn't feed you. Raise your bar. You are not here to blend in. You are here to rise. That means saying no more often. That means betting on yourself. Even when your bank account is low, that means holding your head high at the interview. Not as a beggar, but as an asset. You don't need to apologize for being unemployed. You need to recognize the power in the pause. This gap isn't a failure. It's an incubation. Caterpillars look like nothing special before they become butterflies. Let this be your cocoon season. Build your wings in silence. Fly loud later. And if you're thinking, but what if I try something new and it doesn't work? Here's the answer. What if you don't and nothing changes? Which fear is greater? The fear of failing or the fear of never living? If you've got kids watching you, remember they're learning how to handle adversity by watching you. Show them what courage looks like. Show them reinvention. Show them that failure is not fatal. It's fuel, and if you're alone, even better, you have full creative control. This is your blank canvas. Paint something bold, something raw, something honest. Don't play by someone else's rules. When you've already lost their game, build your own last thing. And this might be the most important. Forgive yourself for staying too long. for not seeing it coming, for tying your identity to your title, for any part of you that feels ashamed. Let it go, you are not broken. You are becoming, and becoming is messy. But on the other side of messy is magic. The person you're meant to be is waiting. And they're only one bold choice away. So today choose. Choose growth over grief. Choose action over anxiety. Choose faith over fear you lost your job. Good, because now it's your turn to rise.